Welcome to Camping with Steve. I don't have a crazy exciting video for you today, but I'm going to try out one of these cot tents. Probably the most frivolous piece of camping gear I've ever seen. Gotta weigh 40 pounds, sleeps one person, and takes up more space and weight than a tent in an actual cot would, but sets up easy. So I do have plans for this thing in the future, which involve putting wheels on it of some kind. So I'll let your imaginations run wild there. And yeah, the way it sets up is fairly straightforward. I tried it out in the living room the other day, and so yeah, ta-da! I can see the appeal of that part, but it's also so big you'd need to have to transport it by vehicle. So if you're doing that, you may as well just bring a normal tent. But we'll get to the bottom of this thing, see what it's all about. It's basically like a coffin inside, but there's a market for them, and I bought one, so let's see what it's all about. Oh, you got a standard zipper operation here. You can have just the screen. It's actually a really high quality screen, I'll have to say that. Got a sunroof here. You can look at the stars, and it's actually starting to rain a little bit, which means only one thing. Put on the rain fly that comes with it. That's kind of cool. As I figure it out. Oh, that's neat. The sunroof actually it coincides with the one on top there. Perfect. And it goes on like a fitted sheet around the bottom. There's not a lot of tying stuff and pegs involved. Okay, yeah, I'm getting behind this thing now a little bit. Rain covers attached. It looks pretty substantial, I have to say. And yeah, there are a couple of poles here, which you're supposed to be able to stake this out as a little overhang part, which is neat. Aha! And who needs instructions, eh? Yeah, that's acceptable. I'm sure there's an actual proper way to put these out, but this seems to be doing the job, kinda. But at a certain point, you gotta realize you got the car here anyways. Probably sleep in the car, considering the expense and the weight and everything else. But let's go inside and check it out. Well, cramped quarters, but we'll show you what we can here. So this screen I was talking about, it looks pretty good. And inside, you've got the sunroof thing. There is a little ridge line to hang things up on, which is nice. You got opening windows and screens. on all sides. And, oh, you gotta be kidding. There is a cup holder in here. So frivolous was the word. This is not roughing it, aside from the physical size of it. So, I have no idea who the actual market for these things is, but they are neat. Impractical as anything, but neat. So I'll say that. And it's time for little step 2. That's actually really good. I'm not a beer connoisseur, so I've just started buying the things with the most ridiculous bottles. And here we go. With all the stuff to do around home, I'm actually just camping in the yard today. But the neighbor's doing a lot of construction work, by the sounds of things. They got some machinery there. So it's time to go for a hike into the woods and get away from all this noise and racket. Let's see where the best way to go is. Slight drizzle is occurring, but that's to be expected, I guess. On an old trail here, which can get a little wet, but it's cool to kind of see what's out here in the back 40. So, on one of these trails here at our place, and I'm gonna bushwhack a little bit. I tried to mark this trail out last time we were here because it goes right down to the beaver pond, and it's a little game trail going through here. And as long as I don't get lost as we're approaching sunset, I think things will be all right. I'm lost. But got a little bit of daylight, and I also have my phone with me. I don't. Normally that would be really good because you got Google Maps and you can just kind of see where you are. So we're going to make this quick and hopefully successful. I'm just going to keep going one way and then one way back until I get to the trail. Yeah, that's all we can really do here. Walking across the old beaver dam here. Haven't seen a beaver yet, or any evidence of them. But obviously at one time there was a thriving populations of beavers around here. And yeah, I've not really been to this part of the backyard in ever, I don't think. Maybe once or twice. Wow. Picturesque. I'm not going to push my luck here. I want to get back before the sun goes down. A lot of bushwhacking to get back to where I think the trail is, but there is clearly a lot of wildlife around here. It's got to be deer or moose or something. Probably deer, judging by how narrow the trail is. Perfect. Perfect. Found our way back to the main trail, and from here we'll get back to the campsite. Yep, really crummy weather. There's the tent. Extremely crummy weather, really overcast. But there's the tent. it's waterproof. Actually really quality fabric. Really good stitching and all that. I just don't know. I think probably there's a hunter's market for this, where you just want to get it out of the truck, set it up quick, spend most of your time out walking the trails or looking for game, which is good, and that makes sense. It's from Cabela's. But for regular Camp-A-Day Steve, I probably won't bring this with me. And I did buy it. They didn't send this to me or anything like that. But yeah, we're gonna get this camp set up a little bit here. Get a fire going, because it's, I don't know if it's gonna rain all night, but it's feeling a little miserable right now. Time to get a fire burning. Small dimensional lumber always does the trick. And accelerant, of course. But I got a special treat today for all the bushcrafters out there. It's something you never see on my channel. How do I start this? Well, you'll be surprised today. Picked up one of these little okay. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, where is it? We'll just do the lighter instead. But this is work in progress, guys. I'm gonna master this trick one day. And yeah, I know. There's an art to starting a fire if you want to be an artist about it. That's for sure. I just want the fire. There's an art to starting certain cars that I've owned in my life. Ooh, waterproof. So I'm gonna spin this around facing our smoldering fire thing there, and there is a method behind this extremely borderline, yeah, it's a lazy video this week. I'm not hiding out anywhere, I'm not ducking authority. All I got is basically a weird kind of shelter here, but figured I'd show this off. It does have a future, but if all goes to plan, I spent most of the day talking with insurance companies for insurance on a school bus. It's a shorter one, so there's going to be jokes about that. However, I'm sure you can figure out what I plan to do with that thing. We're coming up to bear season, grizzly bears, black bears. The black bears I'm not too worried about, but the grizzlies, the places we go camping, I don't want any problems. And I got like a bear phobia. I've watched way too much Grizzly Man. So, you know, the campgrounds I've gone to, there are very, very limited resources for spots to put your food away. You can't hang your food in a tree, and even in the more remote areas, it's really tricky to try and avoid the bears completely. So having a solid shell around us and being able to start it up and drive away if somebody's scratching at the door is going to be a great benefit. But yeah, the bushcraft fire seems to be kicking in, and yeah, that's what I've been up to for the last few days here. Just tracking down insurance companies. There's only one in the whole province that will insure such a contraption, and I found it. So, if all goes well, that's what we'll be seeing in the next coming weeks. Well, I got a quick and dirty solution to the hunger problem. And I've made this meal before. but it's just so easy to do. And using regular over-the-counter ingredients from the store. Package of scalloped potatoes, brown up some beef, and throw in some diced onions. Can't go wrong with that. And just, you know, fry the stuff up, then make it as per the directions that they give you on the package. So, things are going to be pretty tasty here in a second. Pack out the garbage, of course. Beef is browned, onions are kind of cooked. Yeah. Huh. Scalloped potatoes requires milk and butter. Actually water, but water's an ingredient in milk, so that's good. And it turns out there's a recipe on the back. I'm actually making a plagiaristic version of what they suggest to do with it. So, when in doubt, dump it all in a Dutch oven, hope for the best. Glug, glug, glug. Yep, fortune shines on us using this right before it is set to expire. Wonderful. Oh, smoke in the eyes. Oh. Okay, I'm letting this reduce a bit because I put in way too much liquid, and that's okay. I'll be chowing down on this in no time at all. But I will take this opportunity to thank all the people who have donated to the Beer Donation Fund. And you may or may not know, oh geez, smoking eyes. This doesn't just go to beer. I'm not just sitting here drinking beer constantly with the donations. Some of it's going to really expanding the channel, you know, picking up a school bus, that type of thing, that otherwise we probably wouldn't be doing. Okay, I gotta get out of this smoke here. Oh, it's gonna fall on me probably. But anyhow, thank you all so much. You're keeping the channel going for sure. And yeah, there's going to be numerous adventures this summer. We're really excited. Of course, the smoke is in my face. It doesn't decide where it wants to go. Yeah. Okay. Oh, my eyes are burning. Okay. Camping is great though, aside from this one thing that always happens. But yeah, numerous adventures to come, a lot of biking to come, and I'm going to start eating a little healthier. Not tonight, obviously, but I got to shed these COVID pounds somehow here, and that's going to be I don't know, maybe a steak and soup diet or something like that. I'm going to do it Steve style. Steak and soup. Nothing wrong with that, right? I think it's boiled down to where it's scoopable onto a plate. So we're going to use that as a victory right now and scoop some grub onto a plate. This is what I'm eating tonight. Nothing glamorous, but certainly is tasty. It's one of the easy, tasty things I like to cook on a camping trip. This is so good. Oh, smoke. Okay, this is so good. I can barely even describe it. This is one of those super comfort foods that I just really love to eat. Right. Here's the shelter. Okay. Yeah, it is a bit cramped, but it's cool. It's like being in the hammock. We got the sunroof there for if the sun comes out in the morning. All right. I'm gonna crawl into bunk for the night, and we'll see you guys in the AM. Good morning. The verdict is this thing is neat, but a little cramped. But warm, but a little cramped. So, I don't know. Why does this happen every time I go camping? Yeah, it was cozy in here despite all the snow happening. It stayed perfectly dry inside. So, this is good for what it is, that I have to say. Pricey, but good. But cramped. So I'm gonna start packing this stuff up. There's not too much I'm gonna do this morning because we gotta actually, as soon as I get this uploaded, we're gonna have to be driving to go pick up a school bus, and yeah, then driving a school bus back. So I'll film some of that. But yeah, the next time you see me in a video, probably be behind the wheel of a school bus if all goes smoothly. So yes. Oh, a beautiful, glorious day here. But we're just in that sweet spot of the season of the year where, you know, there's not any mosquitoes. I don't need a wood stove in the tent, things like that. So I really want to film as much as I can here during this Goldilocks zone of weather that we're having. So thanks for watching this little adventure. I know it's not a usual full big production today, but I can't leave you guys hanging on a Thursday. So I'll pack this up. Cheers. If you want to follow these adventures and see that school bus, be sure to click on subscribe, and we'll see you guys shortly, next Thursday at the latest. Cheers.